Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Today's question comes from Kelly in Ohio. I'm 23 and about a year out of ministry school with no school debt since I worked 4 jobs and cash flowed everything, so I'm totally debt-free. Way to go, Kelly. I work at a professional screen printing and embroidery shop and volunteer for ministry, making $20 an hour. I work 45 hours a week at the shop, and after taxes, I'm at about $36,000 a year. This is the most I've ever made, but when I listen to the show, I'm often confused at what y'all say is a good income. To me, this is good income since I'm able to save $1,100 a month towards a down payment on a house. What are your thoughts? Do I need to be worried about getting another job, or is it about how I'm budgeting? All right, a lot of questions here. First thing that comes to mind is, why do we go to ministry school? If we go to ministry school and we've changed our mind, fine with that. But if we went to ministry school to be in the ministry, I'd want to know what the path is to ministry. And then once you get into ministry, it depends on what you're doing, because people don't go into ministry to make money, at least the people that are actually about ministry. So the question about good income, I think it's a tad bit relative. But if you look at the income scale in the United States, $36,000 is obviously on the low side. But I love your discipline that you actually have a budget, and that on that income, because you have no debt and you're living on less than you make, look, you're saving some pretty good money there. So I don't think you need to be worried about getting another job. No, but the answer to that is, what job do I go to next? Because I doubt that you want to be in the screen printing and embroidery business for the rest of your life. So if I was sitting with you, I'd say, what's our long-term plan, or what are a couple options that we are considering for the long term? And what I'm talking about there are destinations. And once we have an idea on some destinations, we can start to choose direction. Direction's always more important than destination, because the destination tends to change, but direction will get us going and making progress. So you're doing a great job on budgeting. And as you increase your income with the way you budget, the more you save, the more you can invest.
Yeah, that's the proper answer to your question. Also hidden in your question was, you didn't like it that we said $36,000 wasn't a good income.
Yeah,
good income is not a moral statement.
Right.
Good income is relative to the average household income in America, which is $78,000 right now. And so if you make 36 as a single person just out of school, you are at considerably less than the average, which would also make up the average, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world. You're not a bad person. You're not a horrible income earner. You're not lazy. None of those are judgments that are said when we say good income. All we're saying is, relative to the average, yours is low. But somebody's got to make up the average. So the question is, do you want it to be you? And so, you start thinking about where you want to be in 10 years. If you're just out of school, let's call you 23. What do you want the 33-year-old version of you to look like? Detail it out. Ken just told you to determine the direction, the destination, and then let's move towards that, rather than landing and being satisfied and say, well, I got margins, so I call this a good income, even if you all don't. Well, our portion is not that you can't live on it. I think you're doing a great job. You're amazing. You're doing a great job with your budgeting. But your income is below average. That's another way of saying it.
It's exactly
rather than saying a good income. But so when someone calls us and says they make, $160,000, that's double the national average, and so that by definition is a good income. It's above average, way above average. And so these days, when you make 6 figures, you're above average. In the old days, when you made 6 figures, you were called rich. But nowadays, you just can buy Alpo. But, it's there you go. But that's the thing. I mean, so, because Alpo, have you seen the prices? No, I'm kidding. But so the thing is, Kelly, that you are doing a good job, and you're not spiritually or psychologically wrong to be satisfied right now with where you are. However, as a person that tells you, we want to be, anything that's not growing is dying. So let's be something that's growing. Let's be aiming at something and have a destination. Create your free EveryDollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.